Shir. Is it? Are we live?
Yes.
Live. Okay, so
It's a short daf.
So yeah, it's short and easy. Today's daf Mem Zayin. We're holding on top of Mem Zayin. Just as a review, I just want a small. We started the sugi of sirchus and we kind of ended the sugi of sirchus for the time being. What is a sircha? So this is very, very important as well because whoever wasn't here last night,
I think the best English rendering of this concept
adhesion.
Yeah.
Why did I think you're going to say that?
How did you know?
Because our partner in Manchester, he's a shaykhid and he's like,
Okay, so that's
yeah. I don't think the Irish girl uses that word, but
that's the best English.
that's the best word. Here's an adhesion, yeah.
Listening to the Shia online, and automatically answers online as well.
What? Oh, you said This is what the Tmunei Chol has a picture as a sircha. I said fiber. He did not like the word. It's more of an adhesion. Okay.
Where's that adhesion? Where's that adhesion?
This does not belong here. This little piece. What does Rashi say? This piece comes from basically a hole in the lung, and the body is self-repairing, or liquids within the lung push out. And the word I was looking for last night was plug. Thank you. You see, we're reading each other's mind. Good one. Very nice. So the I'm looking for plug, and nobody's close. No. There's a real word. It plugs it up. And the problem is, if you remove the sircha, where were you, Moshe, last night when we were learning sirchas? Fine. You remove the sircha, it basically you're unplugging the plug, and now the animal is a treifa, because if it has a small hole, it's a treifa. The other thing we learned last night is, and I forget, I didn't mention it, Rashi discusses it, was at the end of the year and people were antsy to get out already, but the Gemara discusses a sircha that goes from one una to the other una. I might have mentioned it. There's a machlokes. No, I didn't. What about from the large uma? These two guys are umas, the mother load of the lung. What if the sircha goes from here to here? You see, it's not even in the picture because it's a discussion in the Rishonim. Now, a very, very important thing that I did not. There was a big issue last night. Those of you who weren't here last night for the shir, here's the picture of 15 years ago, me blowing into a lung. The problem is that the shirt came out different color. There was so I dug up this morning, and these are here. This is the original color of the shirt. This is 15 years ago.
I'm so relieved.
Why did one camera film come out like that? One camera film.
It's not the camera. It's the problem with the printer.
Jack's shirt is called.
What? This guy, Michael Klein. Yeah. Jack is a shtickle. Yeah. Anyways, no, because you guys didn't believe that the shir is going on for 15 years. You weren't there. You weren't in Chicago.
Who's that guy at the head of the table?
There's more people here than now. Fine. Anyways, Be'ezer Hashem, we're gonna have one of these. Yeah, that's the shaila. We're gonna bring it. What? And why are the buttons white?
That's funny. That's very funny. Good. Very good. Well said.
Okay. Fine.
This guy's great. They catch you over.
Yeah.
Get it better.
Fine.
Of course,
Now,
Now we
can start the share. Yeah.
Now I'm finished.
Yeah.
Now on, he's known as Musher Stefansky.
Right. I hear.
It's not coming from inside the lung, it's coming from outside. And the two parts
Very nice.
I know. Chas v'shalom to finish.
Very good.
Chas v'shalom.
Yeah. Tosfos doesn't learn like Rashi that there's an actual hole that was plugged. He holds that just there's an adhesion, so that it makes more sense like that. Very good. I like that. So, also just because whoever wasn't here, and I want to clarify a little bit, the sircha, that's the main thing that we look at. There's a bunch of people here that weren't here last night, so it's kedai just to go over real quick. What does glat kosher mean? What?
This is why we don't come on Shabbos.
Because we could just say it over? No, you didn't. You can't summarize last night's share.
You want to hear about halachah.
Yeah. So what's Chalak B'S Yosef? There's a bunch of people here last night that thought, including myself, that Chalak B'S Yosef means it's a Sephardi Shchita that says Chalak. That's not what it is. What is Glat Kosher? We said Glat Kosher means Glat means smooth. We know what a Sircha is now. The biggest issue in kashrus today are the lungs. So they open up the lungs. Only 2% of North American animals, large animals, don't have sirchas. So what they do is, if there's a very small sircha, the Rosh says you could just shake it, give it a big zetz shake, and if it pops off by itself, that's okay. The Beis Yosef Shrais Chai V'Kayim, it says whoever does that is Michael Nevelis to Klal Yisrael. Beis Yosef holds that any sircha is a problem. What they do is today they feel it with their hand a little bit, and if it pops off, great. And then they inflate it with air, and if they see that it's still plugged, then they say it's okay. And they call that glat, even though it's not really glat, because the real glat is that it has zero sirchas, which is only 2% of the animals.
So again, what do? They first try to pop it off?
No, first they do a mishmush, and they do something called kiluf, like they peel off the smaller ones and they fill it up with air, and if the ear holds in the lung, then they say it's good. And they'll call it glat kosher, even though it's not really glat, because glat means shayish, that there was zero sirchas whatsoever.
What's not glat?
What do you mean what's not glat? Oh, a bigger sircha, a bigger thing that they take off, I think. These are the smaller sirchas, the small...
If air comes out?
No, if air comes out, then forget about it. But if it's a bigger sircha, and there's something like that. Moshe, you have something to add? I don't know. Did I say it okay? Is there more? What's not? What's kosher, not glat kosher? A large sircha? Look, Tana is a glat. V'ma lo glat? Oh, that's the word. If it's very small, it's called a rear. Very good. If it's very small, so they call it a rear, and it's fine. But if it's an actual sircha, then
Pull it off.
so Chalak Beis Yosef means that it's so smooth that it has zero sirchas, like the Beis Yosef, the Mechaber says that you shouldn't have any sirchas. Now, the other point that a lot of people missed last night is what?
It means that the Sfadim are not going according to the Beis Yosef.
Right, because they pasha can't, because there's only % of animals that don't have sirchas. Now, when we eat veal and lamb and goat and venison, there's lamb chops. There's zero sirchas on that. So mamela, that is real glat kosher, because you cannot have any sirchas on smaller animals, because then the sircha won't hold.
What percentage have
So,
problems with that?
what?
What percentage have problems?
I think it's like 50% or something. Not so bad. It's not too bad, right? How much of the keves stays kosher? 80%. Okay, 80%. Not so bad. So Lamaisa, if we really want to be machmer, it comes out that we should jump onto, we should just eat lamb. The rabbi says late. We gotta go. Omar Rava. Hanetarte bue. Now, here's a bue. This is a bubble, a blister. Basically has pus inside the membrane. The membrane swells up a little bit with pus. Now we have two of them. We said yesterday, if you pop the bubble, it's treif. There's nothing you can do about it. Blisters. You have two blisters. They're attached to each other, basically one next to each other, but they look like two because they have like a line divided down. They're not popped. So what do you do? No, if you popped it after the shechita, then it's good. The problem is, if you might have popped it before, and then it's a hole, and now you can't check it with another popped blister. We said yesterday because they change colors. You cannot. Leslu b'dikusa, you cannot check it because we're saying basically. Rashi explains that this certainly came from a hole in the lung, and it's being plugged. So even if you were to pressurize it and see that it holds air, no, it's a hole that has a plug in it. It's not good. Now,
two of them?
if there's two of them, sorry. Now this halach, if it's one larger one, but it looks like two. Basically, there's like a indentation in it. It's pressed down in the middle. It looks like two, but it's really one. So what do? Maisin and silva, you take like a thorn, you take a needle, ubazinala, and you pop it. Ishavchan la'adadi, and if the pus flows from one bubble to the other, from one blister to the other, chadi yuksheira, then you know that it's one. V'iloi tartaninu utreifa, 2 bubbles, 2 blisters are treif, and mela is treif. Vamarova. What? That's what I said. I said that it has to be that there was a hole, and then it was just a plug, and a hole with a plug is no good. If there's one blister, then it could be just a bruise or something. But if it has 2 blisters, 2 is already coming from a big damage. So we said the picture of the lung. So where's the lung? There's a bunch of pictures here. We'll go with this one, let's say. This is a lung. Lobes. The lobe, these are the umas on the bottom, and then you have 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. Okay? These are the lobes. So, there's 5 total. 3 on one side, 2 on the other side. Apa klapi gavra, if the animal is facing the shoichet hanging up upside down, like so. Here's the shoichet. This is taken from the Sichas Chullin. This is the shoichet. The animal is hanging, so now we have the umas on the bottom. The umas are on top. You see the red? And the una with the nun are on the bottom. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So to the shoichet's right, he has 1, 2, 3, and to his left, he has 1, 2. It's very unnatural, but that's how they used to fillet it like this. They used to hang it upside down. So the Gemara is discussing it in that term. Now, just as a side note, why in the world are there 3 over here? By the way, for whatever reason it is, it says that only in 1549 did they discover that cows have 2 and 3. I'm not sure why. Like, didn't they open up animals? They didn't blow it up. The Gemara says this for 2,000 years. In 1549, they decided, you know what? Domesticated animals have 3 and 2. They always say it's 3 and 3 for whatever reason. Now, why? Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu create 3 over here and 2 over here? Very simple reason. Because, this time a side note, you look over here, this is the side that has 2, right over here is the heart. There needs to be room for the heart. So one of the unas is gone. 3 on one side, 2 on the other side, the heart pops over here in this red. Okay. So what's the halacha? Chasir or yatir. If you have 1 una missing, instead of 3 on the right side of the shoichet, you have 2, or yatir. Instead of 2 unas on one side, you have an extra one. What's the problem with the extra one? Kol yasir is kenatul dami. It's as if you're missing one. If you have an extra one, it's as if you're missing one, says Rashi. Soon we'll see, the halacha is not like the yatir. We don't care about an extra one. We do care about a missing one.
There's a 4th one on the right side?
Yeah. 4th one on the right side, 3 on the left side, whatever you want. Oy chalif. Or there's 2 on the right and 3 on the left. There's nothing extra, nothing missing. It's just reversed. The animal's damaged. It's reversed. Basically, the heart has nowhere to go, according to that. So, treifa. Ahu yatirto, there was an extra lobe that soy lekamed mereimar. So there's some sheikhah brought in a funny-looking lung that had an extra lobe. Haviyoseh Ravacha abava. Ravacha, who wanted to learn the halachas from Mereimar, he stood there by the door, watching as halachas came in. He was doing shimush, but from the door, from a distance. Omalei, my omaloch. So as the sheikhah comes out, he didn't mamish hear what's going on. He's spying. So he says, what did Mereimar tell you? Omalei, achshur nalei. He told me it's kosher. Omalei. So Ravacha tells the sheikhah, go back into Mereimar. I think he made a mistake. He didn't check it well enough. Go show him again. So Mereimar caught on what's going on here. Why is the sheikhah coming in again? Zil Emalei, tell this guy, tell the guy at the door, you chapped already, the whole shtick. He probably thinks there's a problem with the Rava. That is, if there's an extra lobe, it's treif according to Rava. We don't pass it like that. I saw exactly what's going on. I know what I'm doing, and tell him to stay by the door. Now, the problem is, says the Gemara, if it's in line with these 1, 2, 3, 4, add another blue. That's a problem. If it's in line. So that's not a problem. Sorry. The Yisera is not a problem. This case is Yisera, right? There's an extra lobe. So if it was one more lobe over here, instead of 2, there's 3. Instead of 3, there's 4. It's kosher. Why? Because it's in line. Avo beina treifa. But if it's between, in other words, if it's on the lung, something like this, but this is 100% kosher, as the Gemara is going to say in a second. This right over here, I don't know if you can see well enough. It's not such a great. You see this little guy? It pops off the lung. It's on top of the lung. That l'chayra should be treif. This particular one is not treif. But in general, if it was over here, anywhere else, not treif. This is special. This is all animals in our day have. It's called Varda de Inunisa. Inunisa de Varda. But we'll see in a second. Says the Gemara.
It's on the
It's facing the belly of the when the animal is laying down. It's facing the ground.
looks like it's on the
Ahu beine beine d'osel kamidei Ravashi. So there was one of these lobes, this extra lobe, that came to Ravashi. Sovar Ravashi lemitrifo. So from these words, Rashi learns that it wasn't very common in those days. Ravashi said this extra lobe might be treif. I've never seen something like this. Places argues. All these very healthy animals, according to one Pshat and Rashi, they have this. The ones that graze outside, and the butchers call it Inuniso de Vardo. It has a special name. It looks like a rose. It's a una, a rose-looking una. It's a lobe that looks like a rose. You look over here, in better pictures. It didn't come out so well.
Basically, what you're saying is that 98% of the cattle industry should be dying out every year.
Why?
Because we said that 98% of the cattle have these circles on it, and these circles are shalom. That means they should be dying out within the year, and we don't see that happening.
We check
Right.
before they die. We
No,
kill them first.
I mean, you know when you chef these animals, they're very young. They're all like within between a year and 2 years old when they chef them. Most of these animals. So you stop asking just in general, sircha. What's the problem with the sircha? Look, it does have. You're saying any tray, if it has a hole, it's a treifa. It has a plugged hole. We're saying that the plug is going to fall off. It's not a real. It's a band-aid. They have band-aids. With a band-aid, you can live a little longer than a year.
This is a famous posting that doesn't drink any milk products in America because all milk products in America come from an animal for trade.
Which
That's that famous place. Like, say it, baby.
Who? Wow. Really? Doesn't.
Because 98% of the
Interesting. That is very interesting.
all the milk is coming from trees.
There has extra or doesn't have extra? What are we looking at over there?
Chol Yisrael milk or chol stam milk? Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay.
V'hanimili migavoy. That's okay. This inunisa de vardo is when it's on the bottom, not towards not the rib side, but the belly side. By the way, in English, it's called the intermediate lobe. This little guy.
Okay.
Now, Rashi just says a couple things here. Rashi says. He wanted there's some Rishonim that want to claim that because you have this extra guy, so you can remove. If you're missing one, you need a total of 5. So you can use this as a fill. Rashi doesn't agree with that. The other thing Rashi says, what about 2 of these guys? Rashi says he holds that again Machlekes Rishonim. Rashi holds that it's treif, 2 of them. V'hanimili migavoy. Turn the page. Daf Mem Zayin Omid Beis. But if you find these slois if you find the una, this varda by the ribs, afilu ketarfa the asa treifa, even if it's the size of a leaf of an adas, we know what a leaf of adas is, a very small shear, it's treif. Even if you have a tiny little lobe facing like just the extra, like a cancerous piece, kind of like a tumor, even the size of a leaf, it's treif. Omar Rafram, Hi Reya the Damia Luufta. If a lung is similar to wood, it's treifa. What does it mean? Some people say it means it looks like wood, and some people say it feels like wood. Some people say that it looks like wood. Why? Because it's whitish in color, because it's bloated. It's treif. It's hard. In other words, you feel it. It feels hard, and that's why it's treif. No, it's not hard. It's very smooth. But what's the problem? If you look at it, you don't see that it's divided into 5 pieces. It doesn't have the unus. All the unus look like one glump, and that would make it treif. Omarava, if the lung looks like makeup, like eyeshadow, like a bluish color, it's kosher. Kidyoisa treifa. If it looks like dry ink, Rabbi Schoenberg gave us this as a show and tell. This is what dry ink looks like. This is what they used to make ink out of. They would add a little water and rub it, right? Something like this. And this is the yusa. So if it looked like this, in other words, it's black.
In time of the Gemara,
They didn't have liquid ink yet. They didn't invent the end product. You had to make the end product. You bought this in the store and you added your own water. Water not included. Today they came up with something called water included, and Memela, you don't have to do that whole process. What? It's more than that, I understand. What?
the last 1,000 years in Europe,
Yeah.
haven't had carbon in it. This is carbon.
Yeah.
The last 1,000 years in Europe, so that you had the iron.
Only Rav Schoenberg would have one of these, by the way. Yeah.
What the suffering on this day is not the Gemara thing. This is the Gemara thing. The suffering used today was those Europe invented.
How long ago?
About 1,000 years ago.
The kids, because Rav Schoenberg is very into safrus and stuff like that. You have to know how they wrote Sefer Torah and that kind of thing. It has Achshar on it or not? It has Achshar on it? Yeah, that's why I didn't even look because I saw it in the store. Yeah. No, I don't think so.
And he says that the Chatchila ink
Yeah.
the suffering is this ink.
Yeah.
But even we can get away with it.
The liquefied one.
Yeah.
Givaldic. Okay. So, if it looks like black, treifa. Domer Reb Chanina, why? Reb Chanina on Hilchas Nida says, Shachar, if there's black dam, it's Nida. Why? Because Adam, there's 5 colors, one of them is black. Black, he says, is Adam who, it started out red, Elo Shalaka, and it turned black. So Mela black is treif. Yeruka, if it's green, says Rashi, what's Yarek? Now, in the Gemara, Yarek can mean green, it can mean yellow. So over here, Rashi says Yarek like grass. Basically green like we know green. Like we call green in Hebrew. Ksheira, Midei Reb Nosson. As we're going to see in a second, Reb Nosson. Aduma, if the lung is red, Ksheira, Midei Reb Nosson. Now, what happened?
It turned green.
What turned green?
The lung.
Yeah. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the lung turned green. It's kosher. Aduma kshero midei Reb Nosson. The sign of Reb Nosson oimer. Pam achas olachti l'karchei hayom.
Well, Shachar is Adam Shalaka.
Yeah.
And now you said it's trick.
Oh,
But Adam is kosher.
very good. Because, very good point. Noam is asking, you're saying that red is good. Black is not good because black is red. But red is good, so why is black not good? Because exactly, black went one more step. It's a red that's not going to become healthy again. If you have a wound that's red, no, it's healthy. That's normal. It's going to go back to normal eventually. It's going to turn colors. It's going to change from red to pink, whatever the color of the lung is. But once it turns black, it's all over. It's past that stage. Says the Gemara, I once went overseas. And what happened? The famous case of brothers that died during the Milah. What? What do you call them? What? What is it? Meisu Echad Machmas Milah. Shlishi heviatu lefone. Says Taisvis over here. You see that you can do chazak with two, but the third one she brought to me. Reisiv shayadam. I noticed that he's red. Amarti lo biti hamtini lo achi bala boidamoy. Let's just wait until the blood becomes absorbed in his body. Himtino lo umaloy savachaya, and indeed he lived. Vayikoynoy soy nosan abavli al shmi. They called him Nosan Abavli on his name. So I don't know if you guys saw this video that was going around last week of a Breslover that made a bris, and he called his kid Na Nachman Uman. So everything is okay. I mean, Abavli is okay. I was worried about the Uman part, not so much the Na Nach. Over here you see you could call a kid Nosan Habavli. Like my son is Elazar Menachem. We had a Shaila, Rav Shach's name was Man.
Right.
But Man is a city. Rabbi Yashiv said not to name Man, so I just chopped off the Man, Elazar Menachem. But really, you could call Elazar Menachem Man. He's Elazar Menachem from Man, from Chicago. His real name was Man. Elazar Menachem Man Shach. Yeah. Nosan Abavli. V'shuv pamachas halachti l'medinas kapoitikya. I went to another place. Same story. Now it's not one trick solves all problems. Every baby is different. This baby was green. Maybe over here it means yellow. L'chayr means like yellow. I noticed that in his milah he didn't have enough dam, and that would be a problem. First of all, he could die. Second of all, there wouldn't be dam milah. You need not only to do a bris, but you need damila. Let's wait until it fills up. And indeed he lived. So what do you see from here? You see that green, if the baby is yellowish, it'll go away. If the baby is red, it could go away. Let's wait. So too in the lung, if it has these colors, that's what Nasan Babli says, these colors will go away. We're not worried about green. So maybe green over here, actually in the story, does mean the baby was green, because we're talking about green like grass, and we're bringing a raya from Nasan Abavli, so okay, fine, mistake. Green means green, the baby's green.
Couldn't work with yellow, because the lung doesn't get any sunshine. You have a yellow baby, put it in the sunshine.
Yeah, and over here
The sunshine doesn't get to the lung.
but we're talking about a baby, a yellow baby. Oh, you're saying Stam, okay. Yeah.
Hello.
Blue?
Blue?
Yeah.
Oh, he says the whole green is blue.
Yeah.
Not like Rashi says that's like grass. Okay. That makes a little more sense that the baby was bluish. Blue in color I can understand. Green, I've never seen a green baby yet. Besides Esther. Omar Avkano. If the lung is kichavda, if it's like, it looks like a liver or it feels like a liver, tubshadim, kshera. Kibisra, if it has the texture of meat, treifa. V'simanach, uvas, basar treifa. If you want to remember which one it is, the pasuk says basar. Basar is treif, so basar is no good for a lung. Or asam berei derava, hayrei the damio kichshusa, like hops. Picture here. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? No, I don't. Oh. These are not accurate. This is just for demonstration purposes only. These are hops. What do we make out of hops?
Beer.
So it's like yellowish green. The next one is uchamurika, saffron. I'm not sure what saffron looks like. A lot of the pictures that came up on Google was right. They make yellow rice. I thought that's what it was because we're talking about yellow, but saffron is red. Like this over here, you can see a little bit of the red. But why it wouldn't fit so much into the Gemara? Red. Who's talking about red here?
This Indian spice.
I don't know.
They use it to make
Uchagoin beyasot treifa. And like the yellow of an egg is treif. As the Gemara, you said green is kosher, but you said if it looks like hops, it's treif, and hops is green. Says the Gemara, it has to be kikarti. What's karti? Leek. So this is what leek looks like. Whereas hops looks, if it's like yellowish, it's not good. If it's green, mamish green, Yorka karti. Or there's a lot of karti in Shas. But no, in brachas also. Right, like that's in the beginning of brachas. No, that's Yeah. Omer Avinu. Atum Bereya. They shecht an animal, they pull the lung out, and it happens to be clogged. So if it's clogged, it's not breathing. What's going on? Maisin and Saikina v'karinala. We take a knife and we cut it open. I is ba mugla, if there's pus, vali machmas mugla, so that it had a little cold, it has an infection, it's not treif, ksheira, in the lung. Yeah. It's one of the lobes is not working well. It's not inflating.
There's a good picture in the
Of what? Of pus?
No, thank you.
That's
of something that's
in which book is that? Oh, this one. Interesting. How many books there are? Wow. V'loi, and if you don't find any pus, you can't associate it with any disease, so we have a problem. We do the trick that we had last night. You take a feather or spittle, if it bubbles up or moves, that means there is some air coming through. And memela kshera v'loi treifa.
you see the item they cut it. You see.
Let's see.
Your turn.
Oh, a little bit of. You don't really see.
Your face tells
You
us
see
all.
that the pipe.
No, I'm saying I don't see what.
Where is it?
There's a little bit of mugla over here. I think that's what it is. The little
No,
white.
Look at the bottom one. See that you don't see the pipes.
Oh, I see. Okay, here. This is literally mucus, like snot from somebody's nose, is in the lung, and it's causing a clog. You know what happens to everybody? Sometimes you can't breathe. You can't breathe through your nose.
That's good.
Pick it up a little bit more.
Up.
And
Left, left,
For me?
left.
That's
Stop.
it.
Stop.
Okay. Shkoyach. Says the Gemara. This is an easy Gemara. Why is it easy? Because we read it last night, word for word. Omer Rav Yosef. Not this line though. Krum sha'olah machmas maka. If there's a scab on the lung because of some sort of wound that it had, bereya einoi krum. It's not good. It's going to fall off. V'omer Rav Yosef. Hay reyo de avsha. If a lung has a sound coming out of it, there's a little bit of a hole. It's a whistling. It's a hiss. It's losing air. It's not holding pressure. If we know where it's coming from, if you could tell that it's bubbling up, then you know that it's losing air. It has a hole in it, and any nekev is treif. If there's nothing coming out, it's just you hear hissing. That we said yesterday, as the Gemara is going to explain. And if you don't know where it's coming from, or yesterday we had a different girsa. But anyways, it's a vat, it's some sort of barrel of water. The maya peshayri has to be warm. And you put a blown up lung inside. And you look for bubbles, but not hot water, because it's going to shrivel up the lung. And in doing so, it will close up the holes, and you won't be able to see if there's a hole. And don't use very cold water. As you check it, you're going to cause more issues. You're going to pop open holes because it's cold. It's hard. So you need warm water. Okay.
Exact repetition of the Gemara 2 days ago. Why is it-
Last night, 11 hours ago, word for word. Because yesterday we brought this Gemara as a thing. This is the Makar. And last night we just brought this as we're saying like Reb Yosef. He holds like Reb Yosef. So this is the Reb Yosef though. You're right, that's why I said it's going to be easy to read. Why? Why is it kosher? We were trying to bring last night a raya, is the upper membrane, does it hold air or not? And we brought this Gemara. And this is what the Gemara says. What happened over here is, in this flat tire, you have a hole in the bottom membrane, but the upper membrane is holding the air from escaping outside into the world, and the hissing sound is the noise you hear of the air escaping between the inner membrane and the outer membrane. But the upper membrane is intact, and memela it's kosher according to Rabbi Yosef. And the hissing sound you hear, the whistle, the wheezing, zika de beinu beinu omarula. You have a lung, it's like a shoko bag. You know those bags? So you have the membrane, and inside it's just a bunch of liquid. The lung is gone. It's toast. But it's intact because it's within this membrane, it's holding up. It's not just spilling all over the body. Ksheiro. Alma Kosovar, so L'chari holds Chisarim Mibifnim Leishmei Chisarim. Since this lung is missing within the lung, inside of the lung, you can't see from the outside of the lung, that's not considered missing. You can't go into every organ and see if the organ is missing a piece. Is the heart missing a piece within the heart? If you open it up and do surgery, you'll see there's something missing. Who cares? L'maisa, on the outside it looks nice and whole, and that's all we care about. Says the Gemara, Esvei Rabbi Abelula, it says in the Mishnah, Harei shenikva or shechosra. Two mumim. Either it has a nekev, it has a puncture, or it's missing. Now what's the difference? Every missing is a puncture. Missing is one step past a puncture. Because a puncture could be a hole without anything missing. It's just, you poke the needle through and I have a puncture, but nothing's missing from the lung. It weighed 1 pound before, it weighs 1 pound now, it just has a hole. But chasra, it's really missing, and it's a hole. So then why did the Mishnah add that thing of chasra? It's there. It's already in every nekev has a chasra. So you have to say, my chasra ilay mebachutz haynu nikva. Then it's the same thing. Elolav mevnim ushma mino chisar mevnim shmei chisar. So it has to be that it's missing from inside the lung, and it's considered. That's also considered a chisar. Says the Gemara, loy lo mibachutz. No, they're both on the outside. And if you ask me, Kasha, what's the difference between a nekev and a chisar, and they're the same? We're saying it according to Reb Shimon. So Beis HaSimfonos are the bronchi. But here's a good picture of the bronchi, all the way over there. I think the Gemara is talking about the main one, the main bronchi. This is a cross section. The lung split in half, so you can see the inside. All these white are the bronchi. That distributes the air all over the lung, the oxygen. So, says the Gemara, according to Reb Shimon, a nekev is not just a nekev, not just a hole into the lung, but it has to be a hole into the bronchi, into the actual pipe. So he says, "Hanimili nekev l'as b'chesar, av nekev this b'chesaron afilu Reb Shimon moida." In other words, the machlokes is in a nekev. The only machlokes Reb Shimon has is in a nekev. Where the nekev is the nekev in the bronchi or not? Chacham say any nekev in the lung. Reb Shimon says only a nekev in the white part. But when it comes to chesaron, that's why the Mishnah says chesaron, because then in a chesaron, then Reb Shimon's moida, then anything missing, it doesn't matter if it's in symphonos or not in symphonos, any part of the lung missing, even Reb Shimon's moida is treif, and that's why we have the word chesaron in the Mishnah.
According to Reb Shimon, in order to check the lung, you have to slice the lung open like that.
Oh,
See inside.
here we're going to get to it. It's even worse. Nekev the isbei chesaron. Yeah, if you have it, you have to first have a reason to do it. But here's a way to check it. The Gemara is going to say. Aval nekev the isbei chesaron. There's a lot of time. We can finish tomorrow's daf almost. Aval nekev the isbei chesaron. I feel Reb Shimon. Reb Chanan Yecholash. Reb Chanan got weak. In other words, he was nearing the end of his life. It seems like everybody came to visit him. So they brought him this case of a lung that was intact from the outside. It was within the membrane, but it was very liquidy in the inside. And he said it's kosher. You have to make sure that all the bronchi are intact. That's Judah's question. How do you know that it's intact? How can you tell? You take this glazed earthenware. Says Rashi, it has a very smooth surface. It's made out of lead, and it's very smooth, and you could see things very clearly when you pour them in because it's so smooth, the surface. And you pour out this liquefied lung. If you see any white streaks, then you know that then the symphonos broke down as well. If you see any white in the liquid, then you know that part of the liquid includes some symphysis.
And this
So,
is clear, this is clear liquid, and you see the white in it? Is that
no,
what-
maybe it's pinkish. Whatever the color of the lung is, it's like a pinkish, and then all of a sudden you see white. Why do you see white? White comes. The bronchi is white, and if you see something broken down in there, you see white, then it's treif. Omar Rav Nachman, Reya Shini Moika. We're talking about a different type of lung. Up until now, we're talking about a lung that became liquid. Over here, it didn't become liquid. It decayed. It's missing a piece from within the membrane. You look at the membrane, and you see something's missing inside the plastic bag, so to speak. Something's missing. Ukrum shalokayim kshera. But the outside membrane is all good. Everything's intact from the outside. It's kosher. Even if the void, this piece that's missing, you notice something is missing, the sack is like you touch it, it like goes in a little bit. It goes in a whole revius. It's a lot. It's like a kiddush cup. It's kosher. Nitlo shalfuchis. Shalfuchis is the womb, says Rashi. That's where the fetus grows. This is what it looks like. Shalfuchis. If the uterus is missing, sheiro, because again, this is not something that's going to kill the animal. It's not a treif. Hitliya kovechelo. If the liver became wormy, mamish worms inside, eating up the liver, and we said yesterday, liver regenerates. So maybe perhaps it regenerates. Maybe not. Maybe these worms are going to get to the final piece of the regeneration. They'll never have anything to regenerate from. Zelya Maisa, there was a story like this. Va'alu aleo b'nei Asya, and they came and they asked the Sanhedrin and they didn't get an answer. Shloisha regalim liyavna. The Sanhedrin was in Yavna. They asked them 3 different occasions, 3 different Yom Tovim. Basically, it took them a year, but they finally got back to them. And we have to say that this meat was either dried meat, it was beef jerky, cured, or they stopped. They want to know the halacha. What do we do next time if we have worms? L'regel shlishi, on the 3rd try, hitiru alehem, they said it's going to regenerate. It's no problem. It's kosher. Have a wonderful day.